Welcome back to part number 18 of my Imperator Rome playthrough as the Bosporan Kingdom. We waited quite some time to begin to expand or war in earnest. We expanded mostly into tribal lands and sort of condensed our pops, not sort of, but did condense our pops into Torica. We didn't really spend any PI on claims or much of anything else relative to city building and deification efforts, and now we built a couple of wonders. This one is completed. There's one here, I believe, in works, and it will be completed as of 646. As of late, we've snowballed into quite the expansionary phase, running a high aggressive expansion. I've taken advantage of that to take hundreds of war score out of successive opponents and take little aggressive expansion in return. The higher, of course, the aggressive expansion, for anyone who plays the game knows, the less you take. So we already had about 100 after our latest war with Egypt and the Seleucids or Persians. We took 100 war score out of Parthia as well, and I think we took 5 aggressive expansion. All of that has been a fairly normal playthrough. After our first Roman war, we were able to file a claim in Carthage. I wasn't exactly sure as to the how or why. I don't argue with the game. If it says I can file a claim, I can. If it says I can't file a claim, as I'd not be able to take any territories in a war, then I don't file the claim. I did file a claim. And I was in the middle of this war, and it said I couldn't annex any territories, so I used the console to create adjacencies, extend my range, and then made the program live by its own rules. If you can file a claim, you should be able to annex the territory, or you'd get an exception notice. Other than this territory here, everything is essentially as it would have been. And we are about to declare another war on Rome and continue our expansionary escapades. This time I believe that we are about to incur quite a bit of aggressive expansion. This should be very low. By the time the war finishes, maybe 50 or thereabouts, and our aggressive expansion impact should be very little. We'll probably end up with over 100 AE, and our stability should be quite low. We won't be able to declare another war unless we take militant Epicureanism. I don't really know who we would war with, though. We have these guys, peace treaty until 642. We probably could pivot from Rome down to Egypt. Maybe it's time to take the militant Epicureanism. I'm not really sure. We'll lose our national tax omen, and our funding levels will be not quite as stellar as they are presently, but they'll certainly be manageable. We have a truce with Carthage, who we just finished a war with, until 645, so that's some time out. I probably should file a claim against this guy, even though it's only 2 points. I'm going to do that right now. I colonized adjacency here, and that's about the size of it, really. I called up, as I mentioned, a new legion here, and hired quite a few mercs. They're on their way to reinforce this front. It's overkill, but in the interest of closing out the war quickly, so that we can get on to the next item, I'm going to do it. There's a lot of various Roman territories about here that are going to have to be leviized away. He has a conscriptee here of Greece. We're going to have to go and deal with them with our own levies. This area here as well, I'm sure he's going to call up some forces. The good news, I think that we have more levies available. As I built a fair number of theaters, like in Colchis, I'm getting ready to call up a legion proper. Cappadocia, Pontica as well. Unfortunately, Asia is Well, it has 7. I'm pretty sure that he's only going to have 4. It's in work, in process there. We're going to start spamming legions out in earnest. Our army maintenance is very high, but really it's not quite as high as all that because these mercs are costing us a fair clip. Say 60, 70, 80, and 90. 90 per. Rome is at war with Egypt, and that could theoretically throw some chaos into the mix. Rome has territories here. Imagine at some point he's probably going to move to siege down our holdings here. And maybe he does, and maybe he doesn't. That having all been said, let's start this war. Let's go. Yep. We are in position. We have a 24 stability, which is over the 20 minimum. And it gets you to wondering really whether we could action his capital. This area seems so much easier. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the choice. While we're landing here, looks like we've caught out a proper legion here. It's a fairly well commanded one, but I bet we can catch them. We can. I'm going to send one of these legions up there to reinforce and send the other toward the provincial capital here. Actually, you are closer. I'll send you down there. And we'll send you right here. It's about an even exchange. We're beginning to get the better of him there. It's over for him. I tried to grab this capital territory with a levy. It didn't really work out. We have these guys on the way. I have our new legion here in our what is it? I think this is a friendly relative to supply area here. It's not a city or anything, but it is friendly for supply. There's no reason to stay here. This unit is on its way up toward that capital. Let's get moving up here immediately. Our grain is now internal here mostly, and our capital will no longer undergo wild fluctuations in supply based on our grain supplies that are coming online down here. I've fully populated all of these farms, and they should be able to supply our extensive urban centers here. Well, it looks as though the Roman has been annexed by Egypt, and he is no longer in this area, which means that I no longer have to worry about our holdings here. I called up a levy here from Cappadocia Pontica. I was headed down here for a series of 3 forts he had here, but now it's belongs to Egypt, so I'm going to send the levy up here to garrison Thrace. And let's see, this guy, let's see what that, yeah, it's sort of equivocal. So I sent the levy of Macedonia down there. We'll go in force and see what can be done. This levy just conquered this capital there. It's looking good so far. We have a mad levy here on its way. Let's see exactly what our governor is. It's an 11 man. Well. We have one guy? How can we have only one? Well, we do though. Well, it doesn't matter. We have our large bruisers on the way here. Let's see how our food is shaping up reasonably well. This guy took this capital. I was going to march him up here by land, but I'm going to use the fleet to have him join this group in the siege of Capua. We made contact with another conscript group. They look to be fairly formidable. And they are oftentimes more where that came from, but we'll see if we can engage him anyway. Where is he going? Pompeii. We've taken Regium. Let's go here as well. We've engaged this army here. Oh, that was very, very ugly for these guys. The heavy infantry is getting chewed up by the horse archers. Holy moly, I think we just snack wiped that whole army. We did. These horse archers are brutal. Flanking of 10 there. Let's see. We'll get back on our way to Capua here. Well, we could go to Capua or land here. We're going to land here and begin the siege of Rome immediately. Our bruiser here has arrived in the house. We're going to siege this down or assault it. And going to get this food challenged army on the way moving in. These mercs have arrived here in the house. Have a couple of breakouts here from very small levies. These two levies have arrived. We should be able to cross this strait here. Let's see what else goes on. Doesn't appear to be much else. We've disembarked. We're headed for Rome. Is there a port in Capua? There's not. Let's see about heading here. We've won this victory here. The siege just fell here. Let's take that. There's a shattered army here that is no longer shattered. I think. Conscripts there as well. Well, we'll take this and then head down. We'll sandwich them in between these two armies. We've taken the war goal, and we'll proceed in earnest forward. I think we just dropped this siege. I'm pretty sure we can catch this guy out here. Yep. So we'll go like that. There's a lot of units here, but some of them are food challenged. Perhaps we should assault it. Let's see what happens with this assault here. Boom. Our units are not feeling particularly poorly or chipper. But we have our wonder with the extra reinforcement speed, retaliation procedures, so we will indeed carry on towards this fort there, and we'll go up here as well. We stack wipe that guy here. Looks like we have engaged with this formerly shattered army here. Let's see how we do. Victorious. And then this other unit here. Let's see, we've won that. We'll go siege that with our beleaguered unit that just performed that assault. Let's see here. You are a conscript with heavy infantry, and you are heavy infantry as well, and you are our horse archer crew that we tend to have very good luck with. Let's head up here. We'll attack both. There's no need to get shattered. This is I believe a hill terrain. If we attack in there, it's equivocal. We'll just wait until this other unit comes down. He's on his way here, and then we'll engage this guy on our terms in force. There are some mercenaries that have popped up here. It's a decent outfit. We're going to put these two armies together and see about going and engaging him. There's a breakout here. I'm going to divert this merc up here as well as our proper army. Let's see if we can get this guy under control here. These guys are starting to show up in this area in force. There's quite a few of them about now. Luckily, our mercs are stumbling in or arriving at about the same time. This guy is advancing up to Ieder. We've engaged this merc. We have a green light here. He's going to have terrain, but we have numbers. This levy here has attacked into us. Looks as though he's about even there. We've got this army out and have put some serious damage there. Let's get back here and find the disposition. We've won this victory here. We're headed here as well. This merc will not mess with this fort. We'll just down it. He has quite a few legions or cohorts available. We've won this victory here as well. The siege has fallen here. Let's immediately head here as well. We've engaged this legion, getting worked over badly. Luckily we have reinforcements on the way here. We're catching this legion out here as well. We've got this straggler. We've looks as though we've captured this guy here. We've reoccupied Rhegium there, and we're going to head down to Syracuse immediately. We've got this army out here as well. We caught this straggler out here. I feel a stack wipe coming on. Looks like it's over for him. Captured him. We've caught this shattered unit out as well. Let's assault this fort immediately. There's a fairly good-sized army up here at Genoa. I'm glad I sent 2 armies up here. I was thinking of diverting up here, but we have a fair number of armies in the area. We've caught this army in Siculia, and it is it's ugly for them. Bull! Stack wiped them. I'm not exactly sure how long we've been at a 99 war score, but I'm going to look into peace shortly, right now. Or perhaps now. Okay, so let's see what we have available. Do I want to go there or here? I'm going to look into it. I want to maintain some kind of connectivity to my main territories here. So claiming this is nice in theory, but perhaps practically it would be better. I see. To wait and assault this fort. We've done it here. The assault fell. Maybe we should assault that as well. Let's see if we can catch this guy out as well. That's fallen as well. So the siege or the disposition for peace can carry on here. And we have 12 more. First item on the agenda, we need to clean up this border gore immediately. And then we can proceed in this direction. I think we can take that as well. Looks like 100 war score we're taking out for 60 aggressive expansion. It's going to put us at 110. Not going to do our stability much good. Let's do it. It's a nice orderly advance, generally speaking. Not a lot of border gore. In fact, I cleaned it up. We have these areas now secure. I'm going to stand down the levies and think on what to do next. Those assaults surely did take it out of this merc stack here. Well, I was thinking on attacking Arvenia, but our claim does not hit for a while, and I suspect we'll be well below 20 by the time it does. He's in civil war mode as well. If I'd have only filed the claim earlier, but it was a 2-point claim, and I didn't want to file it, as I thought that something strange could happen, like a civil war or some sort of where I'd lose the claim and then spend the 20 PI for no reason at all. Oh well. We could have claimed all of a great many provinces from him. Unfortunately, we can't. That leaves us Carthage here. The truce is 645. Egypt, by the time we get on our boats, the stability will be less than 20, and we won't be able to declare the war unless we get a random pop-up event for 6 stability. Whatever the case is, we need to extricate ourselves from this territory here. I'm going to remove our armies and move them down to Greece for a further staging. I was placing some governors and whatnot. I was noted the Timalids are feeling a little sparse. I took a look. I was sort of wondering why. She's married. She has some kids. This governor of Albania is 24. He's not married. Why? It's not known exactly. This guy here, he's married, no children. I think it's time for our fertility deity, Aenas, to step in and take matters into his own hands. We have left our distal holdings here up in Veneto. I stopped here to replenish some food. Just top it off here, and topping a bit off here as well. There's wild food. Well, we're supplying. That's what we know. There's quite a bit of food in the area, and it's positive. I'm using the larger fleet, the first Nauticon, to evacuate a couple of units from Sculia. They are in need of food and etc. as well. I'm going to locate them here in Greece. At some point, we're going to stage there after these guys have recovered all of their food and morale and whatnot. And then we're going to, I believe, sail off to Egypt. And you'll say, how am I going to declare the war? I just have to action this militant Epicureanism here. Our omen power will essentially cease, but we'll be able to carry on. The Egyptians are fragmented. They're pretty far out here. The good news is we won't have to engage Moria to extend out here. We will have to engage Moria to take this Lyman, Alexandria Lyman, for the Argid Empire reformation. But I think that we can take Memphis. Surely we have a claim there. And then extend through this territory. Persia is allied with them. We should be able to take this and that. Various things here. After that war ends, I figure as long as we're in the area, I have a claim here against Makkah. I do. I can't declare the war, but I will be able to. We'll take that. We'll force march up here towards Parthia, and we'll take much of that out while we're still at very high aggressive expansion. And then we will action our claim against Bactria and take 100 war score out of them as well. At which point we'll return to take 100 out of Rome and Carthage. That's the plan going forward. And in the beginning of the next episode, we should be ready to declare war on Egypt. I hope to see you then. Let's see when exactly this wonder is getting built. It is 645, and it should help with build costs, war score, and generals.